In this video, we're going to show you how to steal ideas from the pros. So wouldn't it be cool if we can get inside the mind of Warren Buffett and inside the minds of some of the Wall Street hedge fund managers and find out exactly what they're buying and what they're selling? That would be such a huge advantage to us. As a small investor, we have that advantage. If we want to buy something, if we want to sell something, we go on our computer and it takes just a couple of minutes. However, since these guys are managing so much money at any given time, any one trade can move the entire market. So to avoid that problem, they have to get into position and get out of a position very slowly. And it usually takes a couple of weeks for them to get fully in or fully out. Another disadvantage for them is that they have to file a 13D or a 13F filing with the SEC. Now, 13D filings for any manager who's buying or selling 5% or more of a publicly traded company stock. And that has to be recorded with the SEC within 10 days of the trade. 13F filings for any manager that's managing over $100 million in assets under management, and that has to be filed on a quarterly basis. Now, since this information is public, we can use that information. So how awesome is that? We can know exactly when, not exactly, but within a short time period, when Warren Buffett's buying something, Joel Greenblatt, David Einhorn, some of these other major investors that are out there. So since that information is available to us, why not use it? Monish Pabrai even said that most of his investment ideas come from other investors who are bigger, smarter, and much more successful than he is. And he's a pretty good value investor himself. One of the resources I really like to use is a newsletter called Hedge Fund Wisdom. They track all this data and put it into one newsletter for us to use. And they track 25 of the bigger hedge funds on Wall Street. And in their newsletter, a couple things they have in there that I really like. They have a bio on all 25 managers, what their track record is, what their investment strategy is, and also what their current holdings are. Another thing I like is that they have a consensus buy and a consensus sell list. The consensus buy list tells you what stock is being purchased by multiple managers within the same quarter. And the sell list also tracks any particular company or companies that are all being sold by multiple hedge fund managers within that same quarter. Now, in Hedge Fund Wisdom, there are 25 managers. Not all of them follow the same investment philosophy that I invest in or that I teach you folks. I'm a value investor. Warren Buffett's a value investor. So out of the 25 managers that are followed within this newsletter, I'm only going to take a look at the ones that practice the value investing strategy. Now, David Tepper, for example, he's a great hedge fund manager. He's so good that back in 2009, his performance bonus was $3.9 billion. So, very successful hedge fund manager. However, his strategy is distressed debt. I don't understand what it is. I've never invested in distressed debt. I'm not going to, so I'm not going to follow him. I'm going to take a look at the value investors and see what they're buying or selling. So, a couple years ago, 9 fund managers were buying Allergan. I think this is back in 2014. And out of those 9 managers that were buying that company, I think 4 or 5 of them were value investors. So I paid attention to that. And the rumor behind Allergan was that they were going to be acquired by another pharmaceutical company. So I did my own research and I said, does this company look good? Is it undervalued? Is it a fundamentally strong company, financially strong? Is it something that I would like to own for the long term, even if it's not bought out? And the company looked solid. And it was at a discount. So I decided to go ahead and buy the stock. A couple months later, the rumor was true. It was purchased by another pharmaceutical company, and the company skyrocketed. However, just because other managers are buying something doesn't mean I'm going to go in there and blindly buy something just because they are. I've made that mistake before. Horsehead Holdings is a company that was purchased by 2 or 3, I believe it was 3 hedge fund managers that I follow. And I figured since these guys are buying it, I'm going to go in there, buy some shares, and everything's going to be great. Well, several months later, the company went bankrupt, and I lost everything that I put into there. I went back, I took a look at the financials of the company, and it didn't pass one item on my checklist. So if I came across this company not knowing these managers were buying it, I would have said, this is a piece of junk, I'm not going to pay any attention to it. So, moral of the story here is you can get a whole bunch of very good, useful information, a lot of great ideas from this resource, but do your homework yourself also. If you don't want to spend the money on the quarterly fee for Hedge Fund Wisdom, you can get some of this information for free. GuruFocus.com is a website that tracks the information from over 1,000 managers out there. The only problem with GuruFocus.com, if you have their free version of the website, is that the information is delayed. If you want real-time information and you don't mind doing the legwork, you can go onto the SEC website. So go to the SEC, click on Edgar's, and you can take a look at all the 13F and all the 13D filings that are out there and find out what value investors that you follow are buying or selling a particular stock. A lot of them are buying the same thing. So there's an idea for you. So go ahead, steal ideas from the pros, get some good ideas, do your own research, and do it again. Thank you.